We on? We motherfucking on. What up? What up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is What the Fuck Wednesday. How y'all doing, everybody? We got a lot of shit to get into, a lot of wild, crazy shit. A lot of stuff that's gonna touch a lot of local comedians and people out there, a lot of local talent, period. So you gotta watch out for this shit and keep your eye on it. Um, so without further ado, we just gonna jump into this. Our guest today is the motherfucking Greg. In the house, I always give him like just the Greg. But we
Just a
all love
motherfucking Greg, all right?
Greg don't got no echo tonight. He done killed the cricket. Fuck, we got Greg in the house tonight, and all the way from the burning lands of the great fucking global warmed Canada. Gino the genetic motherfucking marvel.
I remember we used to got introduced. I'm like, I'm coming from the tundra, and you're like, now it's apparently where I'm from the seat of the sun.
Look at you. You look like you just got off the golf course. That ain't Canada no more. That's the new Maui. Canada's the new Maui.
Oh God, yeah, that's definitely. Listen, it's hotter now than it was in August. I don't know what's happening anymore.
It was
Fire.
actually chilly today around here.
Fire happened.
No, it did. People set fires is what happened, sir.
Well,
okay?
yeah, set, shot, energy beamed, whatever. Fire's fire.
Maybe Superman's real, and he's been using his laser vision because he's all horny and all sex nuts. So he's like, bzz, 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 and just
Nah,
zapping
see, I
shit.
think that would be more like that dude from The Boys or Invincible. Yeah, but same shit,
Yeah.
same principle, same principle.
Like wish.com Superman is what we got, and he's lighting fires with his eyeballs. That's totally reasonable.
Pissed
That's
off his Timu took him over.
It's more reasonable of an explanation than what's happening right now. Let's be honest, okay? Because listen, it's conspiracy season and coincidence season as well. Just so you guys know.
Yeah. Now the conspiracies all changed to coincidences now.
It's just you shouldn't be so suspicious of the government. They know what they're doing, right?
Yeah. Oh.
They're very intelligent, and if anything, we shouldn't even bother with voting anymore. They should just be given money. Let's just let them do what they want. Okay?
So here's two sentences that shouldn't go hand in hand, but for some ungodly reason, they do. So Joe Biden has got an impeachment inquiry on him. That's like the foot in the door to get impeached.
Really?
At the same time, Jaime Maussan brought alien bodies to the Mexican Congress.
I'm gonna send it to Greg. Okay? Because I have a video from like 2018 that was like, yo, that shit's fake. It's completely fake. It was already debunked. No, 2021.
They look like little like old. Somebody rode a blunt back like 1,000 years ago, and there's like a foot in the bottom of one. But there's supposed to be I don't know how many thousands of years old little mummies. But yeah, he's in the Mexican government Congress, like they're having a whistleblower thing like they did here in Mexico. And yeah. So, and you notice every time something happens to Biden and they can't do nothing to Trump, what happens? What fucking happens? There's some alien shit. There's some UFOs. There's some energy weapons. There's some shit like that.
Okay, so I just sent Greg a video on Messenger, Greg, if you want to pull it up. It's about 2 minutes long, so I'm not sure we can show it just for because apparently whenever we show
over it, we got to talk over it. I know. Then it's called commentary or whatever.
You could even share it muted. It's about 2 minutes long, but it goes on to show like the composition of the bones. You're like, this is a femur. This is an upside down femur. This one's just been cut in half and put in. There are finger bones that they're all backwards and upside down, and none of it makes any sense. And
I know they did some Russian ones that were chicken bones.
Ooh,
they found out they were chicken.
Hey, notoriously, the most tasty of bones are the chicken bones. That's just factual. Okay, I made some beef bones cut in half for the marrow. That was also tasty, so people know. But there you go. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, none of it makes any sense. This is from 2021. These are the ones that they're talking about, and they're like, oh, we got.
So what do we see? Same stuff. A hodgepodge of human and animal bones.
I've had one of those.
Here's a mommy named Josephine. A real beauty. Instead of humerus, she sports femurs or thigh bones. Her legs are even more baffling. One of the
This is
thigh bones is
eyeball.
actually a femur, only facing the wrong way around, while the other one is a tibia. And they are completely mismatched. With the hip bone, there's no joint there at all.
They're aliens. They don't
The
need
poor
joints.
humanoid wouldn't have made a single step. Some of the bones are simply chopped off. Note this asymmetry here. The fingers are a total mess too. The first pseudophalanges are facing in different directions on her left
went
and
to
right
Todd
hands,
McFarlane.
with the white part
There's no
facing
even
up
hip
or
thing.
down. Well, they just
Does he
forgot
got
to turn them the
Infinity
right way.
Gauntlet on?
Stuff happens.
Makes
And
no
look
sense.
at this alien head. French paleontologist Julien Benoit thinks that those who crafted the small humanoid mummies used the skulls of some small mammals for their heads, such as a llama or alpaca. Comparison shows that the reptiloid's cranial cavity fits perfectly the cranial cavity of a llama.
Oh my God,
The
that's
location of the
amazing.
olfactory bulbs, the inner ear, the brain hemispheres, and
What
the
a
cerebellum
coincidence.
precisely matches those in a llama skull. The whole facial part of the skull was broken off, leaving only the brain case. The skull was then rotated so its back part faces forward. The reptiloid's face is actually the back of the poor llama's head.
The medulla oblongata.
Your medulla oblongata.
Paleontologist
Oblongata.
Rodolfo Salas Visconti is of the same opinion.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. This is
So what do we
2021.
see? Same stuff.
Okay.
A
Still
hodgepodge.
playing. Right, that was
So,
2021.
Yeah, these things at Jaime, that looked a lot better than Jaime's. Jaime, from the picture I seen,
yeah.
the picture I seen, it looked like an old South Park did it. The fucking tampons, the tampons made out of Cheech and Chong's hair.
Oh man, it doesn't make any sense that they're trying. Like, who are you trying to like distract? It doesn't make any sense. That whoever is believing this stuff, you're insane. Like,
Yeah, you're not right. Somebody right.
You need to read more. You stop being a TikTok, okay, and just go read a book. Maybe a comic book. Just read a graphic novel, okay? Or the Bible. Maybe the Bible. You should read the Bible. Okay?
I don't know about all that. There's more fucking
sorry, I didn't know
tomfoolery in them books than
Marco supports the Quran. My bad. The Quran.
No. Because have you ever read any of that shit? You know, a lot of people talk about, the Muslims and the Quran and shit, and give them, that's their holy
all
book.
Valid.
But did you ever read any of that? There are genies in there. There's a Grampus in there that rides on the sleigh of snakes and demons. There's all kind of fuckery going on in there.
You can't question God's word, sir. It's all true. All of it true.
Now, who's God though?
Exactly.
Who's God? Exactly.
He is in all of us at one piece at a time. Okay, everywhere. He is everywhere all at once. Everywhere.
So speaking of godless beings,
the
IRS they figured out a way to suck that money that they were going to use for all these agents. Now supposedly they're not getting all these agents. I'm sure they're gonna put some on the ground.
Weren't they getting 80,000 with guns too? Like they were training them with guns.
Yeah, armed agents.
That can only go right
because the IRS needs guns, right?
That's correct.
What the fuck does the IRS need?
Fight for freedom? That's
So instead they're using all this, and this is like big money. I think it might have been there's a few millions or even bigger than that. I forget what the logistics of it was, but it was a whole bunch of money. But they're redoing the whole IRS, and AI is going to be taking over the IRS.
Listen, if anyone needs more money, it's the IRS, and they need to step up their game. So it makes sense that you would, just redo the whole thing. If anything, maybe double their budget. That seems reasonable.
They're calling it cutting edge, state of the art AI technology. So basically now they're going to have an excuse to say, no, we didn't mess up. The machine did it. The machine doesn't make mistakes.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And they're saying that It's only going to be used on people making 400,000 or more.
Oh, wow.
So when I was reading into the article, it started talking about when income tax started, and income tax was only it started at, I think, 2%, maybe 1%, and it was only on the wealthiest people.
Yeah, it was
to
cover the war. That's what it was.
Right. And then it decided to stick, and now we're all at 60%.
Yeah, which
people don't get that. People don't get that. We're at 60% fucking income tax,
it's
and
not
that's
even
no matter what you are.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be. No matter what you make, why should somebody get punished for fucking doing good in life?
Look, and that's the inherent problem is you have a slew of people, and by people I mean bureaucrats and government workers that are not producing anything. They're just sucking at the teat of the populace by taking as much money as possible and resulting in a lack of productivity. And if anything, like, look, what they should do is set AI on a bunch of billionaires who haven't paid taxes in years and handle that. The people who are making 400,000 are the ones that are actually, that's the middle class. They makes the country run.
Right. Those are more of the mom and pop shops and shit like that.
That's correct. And realistically, those are the shops that, if anything, shouldn't be bothered with paying taxes at all.
Right.
Okay? If you want to exchange, if you want to buy and sell a building, good. Half of it's going to taxes. So if you want to buy, you have to buy let's say I'm buying a property for $1 million. Good. I'm going to have to pay $1 million. Half $1,000,000 extra is a purchase tax, because if I can afford it, great. And then the person who receives the $1 million, they should be taxed a little bit too, because fuck them. So they have 6 months to invest in the country itself by building more. If they can't do that, good, taxes. You shouldn't die. But no. Instead, you know what? The guy who's trying to pay rent, he should get taxed. Fuck that guy. No, but the guy who owns an entire apartment building, he's a contributor to society.
Well, see, here's an issue with that, though, because even if the person does spring for that, they paid the $1.5 million for their building, they paid it all good and everything. Then you always got some cocksucker from the local government still, oh no, you got to do this, you got to go by this regulation, you got to go by this law. You can't even do what you want on your own property. I got a $200,000 fucking home. My son went to jail for a car that was parked on my fucking driveway.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like taxes ain't being paid here, bitch. This house is paid for. This is my land, and I can't do. And then I found out, because of doing my snooping on where cops could pull up into the driveway. They got like, with a car is like 6 foot long, maybe 7 foot long. I think they got 3 foot of my driveway. Somehow, some way, the way the city is cut out into every yard on my on this hill, like 3 to 4 foot in from the fucking street is still city property, even though there's no fucking sidewalk. Oh yeah.
You know what? If anything, you're like, okay, so why would you even, like, let's say it's theirs. Good. Are you plowing it? Are you cutting that grass? No.
No, they ain't
then
doing
get the fuck out.
Left that fucking long strip of fucking large ass grass.
You should be like, that's not mine. That's the city's. I would leave that part. Be like, sorry, the city has to come clean it. That's how it works. That's the reality of it. And the fact that they're not is just the whole thing has gone to shit, right? I look forward to the future, people. The future is looking bright.
I mean, we are shit. Greg even had city issues, fucking just, and his house is fucking paid for. That shit. That man, all his shit is good. The city still they still want to stick their dick in you, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They stuck it to me good.
Greg.
Don't be so wordy, okay, Greg? We're trying to do a show here. We want to keep things short and sweet. So.
Right. Yeah, no, I definitely had my issues. I'll tell you that much. And boy, they were trying to stick it to me. They stuck it to me. They even stuck it to me when the trees fell on my house. That were on
why? How do you?
The tree that was on city property
now,
fell on his house.
I did say plural, as in more than one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
this is the problem. Is we have. I think we were talking about this the other day. We have a current pandemic of leadership doesn't exist, character doesn't exist, and principle also doesn't exist. Those are three things that are paramount to create a civilization that works, functions, has a goal, has prosperity, has anything. And we have not one of those when it comes to any sort of political party. That's why the idea that you're like, you know what? Maybe we should elect Hillary. What? Okay. Like, oh yeah, Biden for 4 more years. What? Kamala Harris stepping in the country's time of need. What? Just please. Like, that's exactly it. Okay. That's that idea. She posted a video a couple days ago. She's like, she's ready to step in. You're like,
yeah.
No,
I seen it.
take a step back.
Are you out of your fucking mind? No,
Listen.
they ain't gonna let her do that, dude. They're grooming Newsom and they're grooming Michelle or Michael or whatever you want to call it.
The one with the bigger wiener.
Yeah, the thing that I've been like, that kind of bothered me about the whole AI with the IRS thing though is when I watched the news article, I believe it was the Epic Times did an article on it, and it was an article in Politico about it.
Yeah.
But what they're gonna do now is like, say for instance, like a comedian like yourself or I, we just, this ain't a career or nothing. This is, we may make a couple dollars here and there, we may not. We go to some shows just to fucking go, just be on stage.
Yeah.
But what they're gonna do now is program the AI with an algorithm that, and I'm just using comedians as an example. This could be any local talent, anybody who's doing freelance stuff, bands, shit. So this is all gonna affect everybody.
Yeah.
They're gonna say like, okay, well, the average comedian works this many days a night, and
they don't work though.
And they'll tally that up, and even though you may think you're getting away with getting paid under the table or whatever, they're gonna tally all that shit up and be like, all right, well, this is the average amount that you owe. Here's your bill.
Well, it's only a matter of time before they're saying, "Oh, did you get paid in drink tickets? Yeah, you got to pay tax on that." But you're right.
Yeah, dude. Just like the waitresses and shit that get hit on by or get taxed on tips.
Yeah.
It's like that. I never even understood how that fucking worked. Like that's like you. That's a tip, motherfucker. What the hell?
Listen, crime takes many forms. Most of it run by the government. That's the truth of it. Okay. After all is said and done, we're in a situation where it doesn't make any sense. The principles are, you're like, hey, so you're going to take what is presumably the most expensive technology that mankind has created to date, which is AI, and we're going to use it to step on people who do gig work, people who aren't competent. Let's be honest, people who aren't competent enough to hold on to a full-time job. That's what we all are. Okay. We have the attention span of a bird, maybe a squirrel. Okay. We have a little bit of drug-induced comedy. That's nice. Okay. Maybe a little addiction problem, and definitely a depression issue. And those are the people who are definitely the problem. What planet are you guys on?
If they're gonna fuck around, dope dealers might want to watch out for that shit too, because they can fuck around and get dope. All right, well, you've been arrested for selling dope. The average dope dealer makes this much a day, it makes this much a week, this much a year. You owe the IRS for selling dope.
Well, so
I mean, it's far-fetched, but theoretically it could be done.
Canada and the US does have a line on their tax forms that is specifically there for ill-gotten gains that need to be reported, where you just say, I made this is how much I'm paying in taxes, and you pay. No other questions. And you can't, just because you filled out that portion doesn't mean that they can use that for court. I'm sure they do anyway, because let's be honest.
Where the fuck is that line? I've never, ever seen that line on any kind of tax, anything.
Hey, I'll tell you this much. So the reason is because you have to have that there. Otherwise, that delegitimizes your ability to go after somebody like Al Capone for taxes, right?
The RICO Act is the same thing
No.
they're accusing on Trump.
Well, so the RICO Act is to be able to clump everybody together, right? But that idea is that if he has ill-gotten gains, he just because he's doing some of the criminal does it by not allowing him to report under ill-gotten gains, you're not giving him the ability to follow the law properly. So you have to have some area where he can say, well, I made X amount and I'm paying taxes, but I'm not telling you how I made them because that's not none of your business, right? Hey, I have never heard of anyone using it, but it is a real thing because it has to be there to make it legitimate.
Pussy. She got donations for it.
I assume a whorehouse would use that. That makes sense, right? Like,
get a 5013C for that shit. Non-profit.
Oh, well, listen, if you can get a non-profit for your whorehouse before BLM can, that's real democracy, people.
So just scooting it along with the AI, man. So did you hear about the fucking robots at the football games?
Okay, here's a question. Let's just start here, okay? If they're robots, that means they can see like supervision. Why do they get front row seats? They're the only ones that don't fucking need them.
They scattered them about because there was more than two. Apparently, they had robots just planted all over the place to see how people would react. I think it was just like all right, we're going to see how people react to having these robots just blended into society.
Listen, the pictures you sent me made me uncomfortable. Just right straight up. I looked at it and I was like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely, get me the fuck out of here. Like, I would assume
the
like
Asians
honestly
did it better.
Listen,
You got to admit the Asians did it better. Have you seen their sex dolls? The high quality fucking Japanese fucking sex dolls, the robots. I'm talking like the Cherry 2000s, like the fuck, man. I'm just waiting for them to fucking cook and clean, dude, for real.
With Ninja Grip, baby, with Ninja Grip. That's just how it works. But
there's got to be a way to like, how do you clean them out though? Because you know that where does the cum go? Where does the like?
I'm assuming you put the pressure washer like in like a nipple on their back, and then it just squirts out everywhere, right? Like a grease gun, like a grease gun. You know, like those little nipples. You just click it, and then boom, just a little.
Have a grease fitting right in the fucking. Have her clit be a grease fitting.
Well, no, because you need it to be stiff to really apply pressure, right? So. You can't have her clit. You don't want a stiff clit. That would definitely not work out well.
I don't know, man. I've seen chicks with big clits.
I didn't say not a big clit. I mean a stiff clit.
Well, they get hard when you fucking play with them for a while.
Why are you so nasty? Some lady walks in with a big old clit, and you're like, "That's my lady." Like, oh, God damn,
dude. Flick it like a doorstop.
You know, hyenas.
I've been with
female hyenas.
I was with the chick whose pussy lips look like Mothra when she spread her legs. Dude, he used to hug the balls. Oh, it's great. Fucking great. Those are the good old days of my teenage years. And that's bad because those were teenage years and they were Mothra lips.
Wherever she is, I hope she got some cosmetic surgery on her giant.
I hope not. That was great. I'd like to meet her again before I die. That is. Can you imagine going across her again, like fucking, like 60? Mothra would be just dragging her. Mothra turn into a pug.
You call her Snail Woman. Just leaves a trail wherever she goes.
I would think more like a pug's face, like with all the wrinkles and the cheeks hanging.
That is not better, sir. You did not go better. You went worse.
So you think you can sit at a game? What do you guys watch hockey up there? Do you think you can sit at a hockey game and next to a robot? Just
no.
Yeah.
As honestly, okay, let's be honest. If I saw a robot come in and sit down and start looking around at everywhere, like in their whole robot body, for me, that's like a movie theater where the guy with orange hair walks in, goes, "Oh, I'm so excited." Be like, absolutely not. Getting the fuck out of here. See you later. No, thank you. Just definitely, I'm just gonna whoop, 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 and just take off. Okay. I can't. Absolutely, like that is danger. That's like, listen. One guy, you know those cowboy boots that you see guys where they has the point and it goes up like 4 feet in front of them. That guy walks into a bar. I'm like, see you later. I gotta go. I'm still thinking. You know? A guy walks in with a giant gold chain that you're like, that's definitely not gold. I'm definitely walking away back up. This is my time to leave. See you later. Have a great night, everybody.
And I could just imagine, like, out there at the hockey games, you guys fight a lot at the hockey games. Can you imagine turning around and be all hyped and just go to suck and you hit a robot? Can you imagine what that robot's going to do to you?
Here's a question. Because listen, a robot should not be able to engage.
Defend itself. At
Absolutely
that
not.
point, you know, some fucking snowflake's going to say it's sentient, it has life or whatever,
Yep.
just like them nanobots or whatever, you know, they
Right.
were sentient.
But
So
that's
then automatically, if it has life and it has sentience, then it has rights.
it
And
doesn't. It doesn't.
You
It's
sucker
it's
that robot, it can defend itself.
If that is the shit that happens, I'm out. I'm going. Hey, I'm selling everything. I'm going into the country. I'm buying an RV. I'm out. I'm hooking up to a gas main. I'm just not. Hey, illegally.
You guys
no.
see
Go walk about.
You guys see the video with the lifeguard that was acting like a robot? The lady thinks he was a robot.
Which one?
The lifeguard that's watching over a bunch of kids at a pool.
No, I would like to see that though, because
Well,
that
here,
seems.
I got it.
I love it. Let us see.
I don't really watch kids in the pool. Unless
Whatever, Mr. Big Lips Pussy Lover.
Kids in the pool, you know.
Your standards are giant labia, but kids, you're like, oh, that's dirty.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You're a dirty boy.
Let's
see this bad boy. Okay, robot lifeguard watching over kids. That's like honestly,
yeah,
at
this
this
ball
point,
game TV.
maybe they just have autism.
I'm back with another video, man.
Maybe he's got a hemorrhoid.
This woman is saying lifeguard is a robot. Really does look like a robot. I'm gonna let y'all get into the video.
Had to put them to the side to show them what you think you see ain't really real, because they here watching this robot themselves. This the whole fucking robot is supposed to be a lifeguard. Look, she got eyes behind her lens, behind her eyeball, and showing her what to see. But she should
just mute it. Just mute it. It's too. Just please, for the love of fucking Jesus.
Everything you got, everything you see.
Yeah, something definitely is not right with this lifeguard, bruh. She
Greg,
going back and forth, side to side.
I did.
Yeah, something ain't right about this.
Now, though.
And you goddamn it think you see is real ain't real. Y'all see it for yourself, don't you? Do y'all baby see this for yourself? It ain't real. I don't mean to put y'all on bloodhead, but you protected. I promise you. Because we got the ancestors on our side.
You guys can still hear it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds better now.
All right.
I don't know what you
Yeah, see, now I can't hear it.
Oh, baby. Oh, my God.
That chick took a blast of fucking crack cocaine.
Really?
That's what the fuck she did. Look at the tooth. Did you see the tooth? The tooth don't lie. Look at her fucking face. That screams crack and pork chops.
Turn around and let y'all see it and live and live.
It don't matter though, man. The way that bitch was moving was crazy.
That lady is no Dan Rather. Okay, let's start there.
Why is she moving wrong?
This is a goddamn robot, y'all. This is supposed to be a lifeguard.
That girl's
this
high as shit.
This is supposed to be a lifeguard.
Yeah.
God damn it. Look at the movement.
Look at lifeguard high, too. That's what happens when you legalize drugs in your fucking state.
You see what the fuck?
Yeah, someone definitely messed up. Or this thing is malfunctioning or something, but
she's high.
How the hell did it get up there?
Right.
Does it walk? Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, bro, this is crazy though. But this is what's looking over our kids in the pool. This is what we are relying on. This robot.
To give me the first eyes to see through the matrix. This is the goddamn Matrix. Look at this shit. Share, share, fucking share.
Listen.
Look at this robot. This is AI at its best. AI.
No. That lady is dumb as shit.
AI.
That's okay. You know what?
That's AI. That's AI and shit. That's the Matrix. That's the Matrix, boo.
Listen, there's a reason why the news used to be just all old white men, because if you allow other people to do it, they're just morons. Right? That lady was clearly like, look, that girl was either high as shit, which is very possible, or maybe a robot. It's possible, but the lady telling the story,
I don't think she was a robot.
Was a mental case. Okay, so there's no, please, that lady has her own issues.
Oh, wait a minute. Stop.
A chicken. It sounds even funnier with the voiceover on still.
That is a.
Don't ever say Upside Down Studios has a lack of cock.
Well, not very girthy, but there's a lot of them. That's fair.
I don't think anybody's ever said that.
It's a whole bunch of cocks over there. Full of cocks. Yeah.
I was waiting for the chickens to come up.
That sounded like the intro to Italian Spider-Man. Like, you're like, what is happening now? It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah, okay. So am I out of bounds here saying like that girl is just high off her tits? Like, is that
very possible?
Very, like, right, like, but also the person reporting, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Is that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
And also, too, the community that was using that pool, none of them can swim anyway. Why are they bothering with a lifeguard? Everyone's just hanging out.
Her face screamed crack cocaine and pork chops.
Well, listen.
Like she's babysitting the neighbor's kids. She got a rock and a bottle of fucking Wild Irish Rose in the back of her fucking swim panties. Probably have her ass crack all showing.
Maybe she's got
screaming at them babies.
She just got dicked down by Tyrone and his friends, and now she's like, I need a little recovery time, maybe some crack, and round out the evening, and get back to work. That's a reasonable thing.
So, moving this along here, I apparently they know about this over here in Europe. I guess because this administration is trying to get all fancy and shit like that. There.
Oh yeah.
So I guess we're moving to European or other countries standards. I don't even know what to call it. Speech crime. Like, I've never fucking heard about this in my life. I never thought it existed. I thought the second was a First Amendment freedom of speech is about fucking, it says no to this. It's like the total opposite. And now we have speech crimes. We got a YouTuber who was actually at the Capitol. They were trying to get him on that with the geofencing. They couldn't get him on that, but they were watching his social media. He posted something about how the election was stolen or some shit like that, and how he didn't believe it. The typical stuff.
Yeah.
And now he's doing 5 years in prison for speech crimes. Dino, what the fuck is a speech crime?
So, essentially, that is one step away from Minority Report, where it'll be a pre-crime. The idea is that if you say something, so this happened a while ago too. I believe it was in Australia or New Zealand, one of the two, one of those criminal areas. Now, it was a pregnant woman had said she had posted about a protest that was happening specifically around lockdowns and that kind of stuff. And they came and arrested her as the same type of thing. So that idea that now that's moved over here is definitely, like, in my opinion, free speech is done. It's dead. It's over. Right. And like, I'm not let's see. There are a lot of people who are talking nonsense these days. So to some degree, I'm like, hey, people being held accountable for the crazy shit they say is great. The problem is when it's used by the man as a way to silence those that would incite some sort of accountability for the government. I feel that is wrong. So there's two sides of it. It is a little bit ridiculous, but the idea is that you are now officially held accountable severely for whatever you say online. It doesn't make any sense.
Again, that's just like you're blaming a pencil for the words, man. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I've always taught my kids, it's America. You're free to say whatever the fuck you want to say. You will never be free of the consequences.
True.
If you go and call somebody, the wrong thing or whatever, and they punch you in the mouth, yeah, you had the right to say that, but hey, you had the right to punch you in the fucking mouth. Well, nowadays you just get beat up just for not even, no, it just don't even make sense no more now. But I mean, if this is true, I might as well just fucking start packing my shit up now and fucking go sit out in front of the jail.
Yeah, that's right.
Just wait. Like, I'm right here.
Yeah. You don't want to be evading a warrant. You want to be in the prompt and on time, right? That's
I'm right here.
Well, that's the thing is like you can not only can you not have an opinion, but the idea that you would say something like it's very much in contradiction. Like we had a good few years where the internet was the Thunderdome, right? You could do whatever you want, no holds barred. It was whatever people could come up with, but obviously that's gone too far. And
I feel you should be able to say what you want to fucking say, except the only exception I have, you don't fuck with no kids. You don't fuck with no kids. You don't fuck with no kids. I don't give a fuck what you say, how you say it, who you do it with, whatever. As long as there ain't no kids involved, I don't care.
Even people who cannot have a say. So somebody who is mentally unable to consent, right? So somebody who is disabled in that way, shape, or form. Again, I feel the same way that you should.
I don't know, man, because there's some disabled on the porn freaky deek shit, that, and I done knew a couple disabled females that they do the freaky deek shit,
a disclaimer to everyone. Just know that porn addiction is an issue and also is one of those things that you cannot detox from. So once it's in there, be careful what you click, people, or else you're gonna end up like this right here.
Look, I gotta tell this because this just happened. This is real
let's
shit.
ruin everyone else's
goes along with it.
Sounds good.
I just went to a wedding a couple weeks ago.
2 disabled people.
And dude, I walked into this. There's all kind of crazinesses that happen at this wedding.
Perfect.
There's one particular thing that just stands out and brings up into this. There was this girl. I mean, I walked in, and I just couldn't help it. I wasn't trying to be rude to the person I was with, but I mean, it was just one of them. She was just that fucking gorgeous, dude. Like she was in the corner. She looked like she had a prom dress. Like she looked like she should have been in a bridal party, but she wasn't. And she was just standing there. She had a circle of people around her, and she's just talking and smiling. And I'm just kind of eyeballing her up and down, like, oh my God. Wouldn't you know it? Like she had the prettiest blue eyes, blonde hair, like her figure kept going down. And like I looked towards the wine glass, and she was holding the wine glass, kind of funny. She had a chicken arm, dude. Oh,
you know what? That's rough. That's rough,
dude.
That's rough, right?
And I mean, she kind of hit it well. She hit it well. She had the wine glass kind of like it was in the little corner there, so like you couldn't realize the chicken arm. It was almost like she was just holding a wine glass up by her titty.
Yeah, well, listen, I see.
That's confusing all the way around, and you're just like, because I got a background in the whole disabled community. The
Yeah.
developmental. So there's fetishes and shit, and
who doesn't like chicken wings? Who doesn't like chicken wings? Let's be honest. Everybody loves chicken wings, right? It's
get a
just
little wing ding.
little barbecue sauce.
All right, so
That sounds like a good
I
time.
threw this way off track. Getting back to the speech crimes, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that shit, Greg?
I think you're going to prison.
That's correct, Greg.
Right.
That is.
But yeah, no. It's not
We're
right.
gonna have to start
whatsoever.
a GoFundMe now.
Right.
Yeah.
Just for bail and attorney fees.
So much. Like they're not going to grant him bail. There's no way.
What's really crazy about this whole speech crime is, like, they just there was a judge banned the Biden administration from fucking with social media or any kind of media, like telling them what they can and can't say or whatever for a minute. Well, another grand jury, whatever the hell, lifted that and said that they can a little bit. So what did they do? As soon as they hit the impeachment inquiry hit, they sent an email to CNN and the major media networks because it already leaked out, stating to start downplaying the impeachment, start going after and down, pretty much talk shit about all the senators and Congress people that are going along with it. But we got speech crimes. That's fucking speech crimes because that's stopping freedom of speech. I would think that was a speech crime.
The idea that you can't broadcast look, the whole idea, the whole principle behind the news and why it sucked so bad was because it was just information. It had nothing to do with opinion, and it was boring as shit because they would say, "This is the information. Do with it as you will."
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, that's how it
News
was.
ain't supposed to get your ratings, motherfucker.
OJ jumped in that Bronco, and it was 24/7. We gotta watch.
No, it was way before OJ. That was when the idiot got beat up after he jumped out the Hyundai. It was all yacked up on PCP, and they
Rodney King.
I didn't want to put the name out there because now that's another crime.
Why? He was in the news, and it was a whole big thing. I don't think that's
that started real riots, but that's just another thing nobody realized. I don't think they should have took it to the extreme that they did, but that motherfucker hopped out of Hyundai all yacked up on PCP, going at the cops.
Tuesday night. What are you gonna do?
They didn't
in
need,
LA.
they didn't need like 10 of them motherfuckers beating the fuck out of him, but he did deserve a thumping by a couple.
Well,
I mean,
that seems reasonable, right? But people are crazy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. I just don't understand why we're in a situation where this is like we're actively holding people accountable that have no influence or power, and the people who have ultimate influence and power are being allowed to run amok, right?
Not. It just depends on what side you're at. Well, I just said that. So the racist, white supremacist group, the Proud Boys, with the Puerto Rican leader. The
most racist of people. That's fine.
Right. So he got 22 fucking years. 22 fucking years. And you know why? Because he came out and he did an interview before I guess they carted his ass off. He said that the DOJ came to him and wanted him to talk about, blame everything on Trump and talk all kind of shit on Trump. His exact words was that they wanted me to lie on Trump, and I told them to pound sand, give me whatever you're gonna give me, and they did. They gave him 22 fucking years. But I mean,
I have a question for you. I grew up, with the knowledge and understanding that if someone isn't trustworthy, you can only trust that they're to be untrustworthy, right? You can't believe anything they say, right? So in the same sense, if somebody says,
hey, I want you to perjure yourself and just say all this stuff, my assumption would be from his perspective is, listen, you guys are trying to make me break the law, but I have no guarantee that I'm going to be protected afterwards. So I feel like I'm going to break the law for your advantage, and then you're going to come after me and kill me for perjury, right? Which, like,
you're
that's
making
exactly
me lube my own hole.
100%. Which, like, also too, like, that's gangster. But at the same time, you can't be asking people, hey, you have to dig your own hole. You got to hold a gun to their head, right? So, like, the idea that that in turn he got 22 years, you're like, listen, you need, like, we live in a world that is run by accountants and lawyers, and you're like, those two are the absolute worst to run anything, just period. Anything, any company, any
Yeah, we need
picnic,
a casino operator running it.
like a pit boss, definitely. Like a pit
What do you
boss
think Trump was?
listen, that's just how science works. Okay, trust the science, people. Trust the science. That's what you got to do. Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
remember,
think that's and then again, that's another speech crime. You want me to purge myself?
that's right.
That isn't that speech crime?
That is the only speech crime that actually is real. Okay, that's the only thing that is a speech crime, is when you perjure yourself, is you lied under oath, and you have to be held accountable. Right? It none of it makes any sense. Right? Like, let's just be very clear. Not one little thing. I kind of miss the cricket.
So
yeah.
Getting back to football.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm probably one of the first ones to bring anything up about it, but I'm sure the memes are going to start soon, and a lot of the ignorance and the racism is going to start again.
No, never.
But
racism in the United States of America? How dare you, sir? How dare you?
So the Kansas City Chiefs decided that they were going to play before our national anthem, before the Star Spangled Banner. They played the Black national anthem, which is called "Lift Every Voice and Sing."
Why is there a Black national anthem?
Exactly.
That's not a real thing, right? Like, you can't can't say, but we have a Black national anthem. You're like, why? Like, if anything, having
national means
anthem,
national. We are a nation.
Having a Black national anthem is promoting racism and
yes, it is.
Things. Like, there's no, like, you can't make that up. That's so weird.
And then some of, like, I've seen some of the comments under the article that I read, and it's like, again, it's just like, the black folks doing the calisthenics with the folding chairs, getting ready to beat up Whitey with the folding chairs. But if you flip it around and you show Pawpaw showing little Billy and Timmy how to make a noose, that's fucking wrong.
I'd watch a video how to make a noose. It just seems like good information. I already know how to hit people with a chair.
We're all going to prison.
Yeah. Well, I used to. I think one of my brothers maybe had a poster that was like all the different, like, sailor knots and how to do them. And I'm like, that's good information, because they all have a different function. Like, it's a little bit weird because some of them are like, a lady's legs, and you're like, why is that a knot?
It has one function, man. Just it's got one function.
Yeah, it's kind of important.
The lasso of steer. It's the lasso of steer. That's what it's for.
Listen, you can hang up cattle after you slaughter them, or goats.
I've seen the Greeks do the goats.
It's very tasty. It's a great way. Listen, it will drain itself. You tuck, and it, no problem. All the tender bits come out. Bam, no problem. Okay, it's just how it works.
Yeah, I didn't see it. What was his name? Mr. Massifasalis lived next door to my cousin. They tortured the fuck out of my cousin every year for years, dude. Because they'd get like a baby lamb, like probably around this time. They'd get a baby around this time of year, and then they start fattening it up.
Yes.
And then, it's outside, it's playing, and they get to play with. And then by the time it's around Greek Easter time, it's nice and fat. So they'd fucking murder this thing right next to my fucking cousin's, like, play set.
Quick,
every year. Every year, dude. I mean, you swear it was like some Jewish, Passover type deal. They were putting the lamb blood over the swing set.
Listen, I'll tell you right now is that you got to make sure you cut deep and get the larynx because they scream like a baby. It is terrifying.
Oh my God. It is. It's like a horror movie, dude.
It
like
is
a fucking horror movie.
Piercing scream. So I would advise anyone, if you don't like your memories to be haunted for the rest of your life, don't be around a lamb getting slaughtered. That's just a bad idea.
Don't be around any kind of animal being slaughtered, man. I could shoot a person before I shoot an animal, dude.
Yeah, that's a you problem though. I'll happily shoot anything. I don't really I don't have
Listen, he didn't say he wouldn't. He just said he would do one before
I'm just
the
saying,
other.
I'm team people, motherfucker. Trust me.
I don't trust you at all. Like you're definitely not like you're like I'm team people for now. Like it's like a definite there's a little
I'm team fluid. There you go. I'm team fluid.
You team. Listen, that's that's another issue. It's there's definitely like a little asterisk beside Marco's like I'm on the team with everybody else. You're like for now. I feel like if there was a way that Marco could have an army of animals, it'd be like definitely not on the team. He's like, no, fuck your team. I'm definitely not.
Fucking
if he made dogs with thumbs, like he'd be like, absolutely not. I'm definitely having dogs with thumbs shoot people. Like that's definitely you can't prosecute a dog for shooting somebody.
Oh fuck no! I'd have 2 cane corsos or massives fucking next to me with fucking AKs because they ban ARs.
I feel like that's a cartoon I'd definitely watch though. Like that's
right.
Fucking A.
Yeah. That's
all right. So we got about 10 more minutes here. We're gonna shoot these 2 last things or these 3 last things here.
Yeah, right.
The illegals in the schools of New York. There is a viral video going out on TikTok. This mom is going to fuck off on Governor Hochul because she's just bringing in all these illegals and telling them they can come here and do this and that. And now she's begging, for work permits for everybody, which everybody said, no, they're not going to give them work permits. They're not going to give them free housing. They're not going to give them free food. They're not going to give them fucking apps and iPhones and shit like that there. None of that shit. Now they're giving them fucking work permits because they have an overflooding of these people and they don't have the resources to take care of them. So they want them to work. So this parent is fucking going off because now these kids are flooding into schools too. They don't speak a lick of English and they just they walk right in and they get put to the front of the line.
Perfect.
Whereas, she goes to have to register her kids every year. She got to bring in a light bill. She got to bring in a proof of residency, her mortgage payments, all the vaccine documentations, this and that. And I mean,
it is coincidence season.
Keep telling people. I mean,
yeah. Well, listen, let me tell you a story. A friend of mine was telling me this story about how her dad came to Canada, and when he came, he had $14. Okay, so the airport is actually quite a ways outside of the city, right? So it's kind of in the boonies. Now it's not in the boonies, but back then it was. And they were like, okay, so listen, you're educated and all that kind of stuff, so we're going to let you in the country, that's welcome to Canada. Here's the ID you need and all that kind of stuff. But like he was, they're like, listen, do you have any money? And he's like, I have this, and it's $14. She goes, listen, that's not enough taxi fare to get to the city. So like, we're worried about letting you out here because you have nothing. And it wasn't like, do you need something? It was like, hey bro, you have nothing and we're gonna kill you.
You do know there's a law in America.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a total country law, but I know it's here in Ohio. You are not allowed to not have any money. Like if you're walking down the street and a cop, if you got caught fucking up and a cop does not have anything on you, one thing they can get you for is not having any money. That's a law. It's on the books. I thought that's an old law, but I remember, I used to always make my kids leave $1 in their pocket. If they went out to play, if they went to one of the football games, if they went to a school,
you got something.
You got $1 in your pocket. Especially, back then cops were assholes to the kids out on the streets. So Yeah. If nothing else, you take 4 quarters and you call me to come get you if you got a problem.
Yeah, that's fine. That's it. The idea that that's not like that's changed so drastically. Like, look, he was like, no, my sisters are gonna come pick me up. It's fine. It's no problem. They're like, are you sure? Because like you can't get anywhere with $14. Like you have nothing. He's like, no, it's fine. I trust my sisters are coming. And
I can suck that man dick over there and get me a ride, motherfucker.
Listen, just so people know out there, you don't have to suck dick for money. Like there are a lot of
I didn't say money. That's prostitution. That's a ride.
Technically, it's the barter system, but what I'm saying
yes,
is
that's barter. That's not prostitution. That's barter.
You can just ask people, hey, can you give me a ride? If they say, if you touch my wiener, you could say, no, I'll ask somebody else. You don't have to be that
agreement. You can just touch the wiener and get your ride to wherever you're going. You
don't
wash your fucking hands when you get to your destination.
Just so you know, it's not going to stop at touching the wiener, okay? He's going to want the wiener to touch you. That's how that works, okay? Because
that's extra. Especially if I only got $14, somebody's buying dinner.
If you wanted me to turn on the AC, well, you got to let my wiener touch you now, right? That's how that works, right? If you wanted a comfortable ride, not in the trunk.
Well, then fucking have a menu. I got $14 and I got places to go.
Motherfucker, it ain't Uber over here with a Lyft cart. Just fucking calm down. I'm just telling you is that, you don't have to do that, okay? That's just, God. The world has changed and not for the better.
So I'm leaving. I left this for the end of it because if anything is going to glitch the internet, this probably will. So there is proof now, and the judge has deemed that the Arizona election was fraudulent, that it was rigged. Katie Hobbs actually won the whole shit there, the whole election. I don't know if they're gonna do another election, which is bullshit, because there's proof that there was 9,000 fucking votes were just chucked. And then the rest weren't verified the right way. Everybody was giving her shit. She had like 16 things. They busted her down to 2 things. But in them 2 things, everything fucking came out. Fucking election was rigged. Fucking Katie Hobbs won the election in Arizona. Carrie Lake rigged that fucking election.
Katie Hobbs, because I'm thinking about the person that is. Katie.
She was the one that was running. She's the big Trump fan. She was running her mouth.
Oh, Katie Hobbs lost, is what you're saying.
No, Katie Hobbs is now won.
Oh,
like they Carrie Lake beat her, and everybody said that the election was rigged. She even said the election was rigged, and they gave her the big runaround like they did Trump. But here they found out Arizona's was fucking rigged.
So Carrie Lake is bad. And she was the one who was fraudulently in power.
Yep.
Wow. She does look like Karen on foreign steroids,
The blonde one. The blonde one is Carrie Lake. Katie Hobbs is like the short brunette one.
Nope. You have that reversed. Carrie Lake is the one with the short brunette. Katie Hobbs is long blonde hair. Both of them want to speak to the manager. Let's be very clear. Okay. Neither one of them is going to be.
The dark-haired one is the good one that got cheated.
Okay. So the dark-haired one, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Carrie Lake, I don't know what her name is. She Carrie. Is it Carrie? Okay, Carrie Lake pays tribute to the great but former television news anchor and former candidate for governor of Arizona. It has not updated on Wiki, but it is yesterday in the Tucson sector alone, 2,000 illegal. No, that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, Katie Hobbs is the other one. Katie Hobbs is the blonde who is like, you got to trust the science, okay? I wear 6 masks when I'm driving by myself in my car. That's what Katie Hobbs looks like.
All right.
Yeah. So I got him backward.
Yeah, you got him backward.
Either way, the election was fucking rigged.
Yeah,
that was the whole point. Because they went through the same system as 2020 that was infallible.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Remember?
Well,
Remember, our elections are infallible. You can't do that. This is bull. There's no tampering. There's no this. Yeah, right there. And end the fucking show with, guys, I ain't trying to make a toilet paper rush on everybody, but the FDA, at the beginning of the cold and flu season, are claiming that the major ingredient in most major nasal decongestants and cold and flu medicines is
it's called phenylephrine.
Phenylephrine. It doesn't work. For
Yeah.
years and years and years, it worked. People were saying that they used it to treat the COVID, and now because we got a new strain coming out or whatever the fuck they calling it, variant or bullshit, they're taking it off the they're taking it off the counters. They're
That's
saying
right.
it don't work. They're taking it off the counters.
To save the people, okay? You got to trust the science, people. They're doing this to protect you. So definitely you don't have to worry about stocking up before it's off the shelves. You definitely don't have to think about that kind of stuff because obviously the government has this under control. Coincidence season. A-okay.
With that bullshit being said, this has been What the Fuck Wednesday from Upside Down Studios. Y'all have a good night and be good to each other.
Jesus.